Hey, what's happening, everyone? Guess what today is? It's play day in the asylum, and we haven't had one in about a month. The last one we did the ink on photo paper, and we did like ink blots. And I still have a mess of photo papers over here that I'm still playing with because I have so many that I kind of want to find ways to use them and get rid of it. But today's play day is involving some ultra thick embossing powder in clear and some acetate. So I'm sure you have all seen Michelle's Instagram where she did a window, and I'll insert the picture now. She did this window, and the window panes, the window glass, has such cool texture. It looks like an old aged window for real, you know. And she did that using the ultra thick embossing powder and some acetate. So she has a step-by-step tutorial on her Instagram, and so what I'll do is I'll link her Instagram below so you can also go to that and see it, because mine, although I'm going to follow the steps and do it as video, I also am experimenting with other things too, because Playday is all about just playing around. You know what I mean? It either works or it doesn't. And then I also want to find options if you don't have ultra thick embossing powder. And so I have already made some samples that I'm going to share with you right now. But let me get into my journal, because I'm going to show you, kind of explain my idea of what I want to do versus whether it works or not. Because you guys know me by now that I am someone that will go big, and I will make my life harder. In other words, instead of just, you know, having fun and keeping it fun, I stress myself out. But anyway, so here's our journal. We are having a play day for the Creatively Insane today, and I'm just going to pick a regular sheet. This is just regular paper because I plan on cutting out my window. Okay, so this page will end up being see-through on both sides, kind of like our window that we had, that I had on my door, kind of like that. But this is going to be a grander scale. And I'm going to use Michelle's technique to do the window pane, so to do the glass part. The only difference is my window will not be a window. It will be, of course, a wall. And what I was trying to find on the internet, which I couldn't find, was like a die cut with blocks, because I would love to do, you know, like, remember in the 70s when they had those glass blocks, like in bathrooms or at the hospitals, you know, like in the wall, it would be the little glass blocks. I kind of wanted to do that, but I could not find anything. So instead, I'm going to be using a very intricate die, which is this one, and all these little tiny little bricks. Yes, I know. So what I did ahead of time is I already pre-cut, or pre-die cut, whatever you want to call it. So I have this is how I die cut, and this is the photo paper, okay, because I'm using it up. So that's going to go there like that. And then this is the back side. So this is going to be on the back side. Once the window is in, it'll line up. I'm going to have to painstakingly glue it because this paper is kind of stretchy. So yeah, it kind of gets misshapen. So, but it'll be like that. And then to make my life even better and more fun, I am going to have to, once the glass is in there, I'm going to have to glue these inside, right? So I'm going to have to line everything up. Again, it's stretchy, so I'm going to have to line it up and glue that in there. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but yes, that's my goal. Okay, and then not only have to do it once, I have to do it twice, because I have to do it on the other side as well. So that's my project. Yours, of course, and you can do whatever you want. All right, maybe you want something like not even a window. You want to use this technique for something else, you know, like figurines. You know how we used to have the glass figurines, like a swan or a butterfly or something like that. And you could do that in this technique and then use it either as a tag or as a pocket, whatever. So Michelle used this extra thick embossing powder. And the difference between this and the regular kind is the other one is super fine. So the sand or grit on this is thicker. It's like salt, like coarse salt. And I believe that is what leaves the little pits and texture and all that kind of stuff. And then I just have my embossing, and it's pretty dirty, I know, but it still works. The embossing pad to kind of glue it on. All right, but let me show you some samples that I did, because while I was waiting for this to come, it was supposed to come last week, it was delayed. I thought, well, what if everyone doesn't have that? But they have, hold on, let me grab mine. They have this, the super fine. Oh, sorry. This is my other one. It's super fine. Sorry, it's not focusing very well, but you guys get the picture. So how will that work if that's the embossing powder that they have? Okay. So I made some samples and let me show them to you. All right. So I need probably, oh, stomach's growling. I probably need some, maybe black paper. I don't know if you guys can even see this. Or I wonder if I don't think I should cut out the light, but all right, so, oh yeah, the light might actually help. All right, so this is super fine, clear with just the regular ink pad, and as you see, it's quite smooth. The only texture that's there is here towards the bottom, right, where I probably didn't heat it up all the way. Okay, not at all like Michelle's. Here I did, oh, let's do this one first. This one. No, not this one. Let's do, that's a gross one. Okay, this one. So this one I did with matte medium. All right, so you see it has more texture. You can feel it, but it also is kind of, it's kind of frosty, has a frosty. So this is matte medium. I just put matte medium down once, and then I put superfine, heated it up, and then added more superfine and heated it up. So it's two layers of the superfine and one layer of matte medium. But there is a texture, and it is kind of cool looking. It's actually the closest I think I got to it while I was waiting for the other one. But as you see, it's a bit frosty. This was with extra thick matte medium and one layer, and that looks just horrible. So don't do that unless you want that look. All right. Then I tried the superfine with clear gesso. Sorry. I don't know what the hell that was. Okay. So then I tried superfine emboss with clear gesso using a brush. All right, so I use a brush, and you can see the brush strokes, right? See right there? And this also has a pretty cool look. I do like this. And again, kind of frosty. Okay, it's still see-through, but it has that white frost. And this would be good for a winter window, actually. Okay. And then here I did the same thing, but I dabbed it with a paper towel. All right. So to me, it's more even. You don't see thick, thin, you know, from the brush stroke. So here I dabbed it with a paper towel, gave it a little bit more texture, still frosty. And this again is with the superfine emboss. So if you don't have the ultra thick and you use superfine with paper towel and gesso, clear gesso, this is what you'll get. All right. And also let me remind you that my acetate that I'm using is actually a transparency sheet, and it's for laser printers because I have a laser printer. So if you have an inkjet and you have inkjet transparency, it may be totally different. If you're using acetate from packaging, it may be totally different. All right, so it's up to you to kind of play. Okay, so you're just gonna have to have your own play day at your desk and find out what works best for you. All right, so then I finally got the emboss ultra thick emboss in yesterday. So then I wanted to see what mine would do. And so this is the ultra thick with just the ink. And it does have a cool, like wavy, that old wavy look, but not as textured as Michelle's. See? Except for here at the bottom where it didn't have a lot of the grit, you know, the embossed powder, where it kind of tapered off. So if you do maybe less of the emboss ink, like kind of just dab it around so that only a few particles, and then heat it up and it kind of spreads a little bit but doesn't fill in everywhere, then you can probably get that look. All right, but this kind of, it's just really smooth, but I still like that look. Okay, so then I was like, well, I need to try to do hers. All right, so then this one was again, I heated it though from the back side this time, trying to see maybe if I heat from the back, it doesn't heat it up all the way. It kind of worked, kept some white in there where it didn't heat all the way. You can see the white particles that didn't heat up, but still fairly smooth. And then I have this one, which I did matte medium again, because you can see it's kind of a little bit of frost. Not too bad. It looks, in real life, it doesn't look as frosty as it does in the picture. But this one was matte medium. I used a brush, went one way, went the other way, so it had strokes, but not too bad. Put on the emboss. I heated it up from the back side, and then check out this texture. See it? I think I like this one the best. Just one layer of each. All right, so if you want a really textured window, this is what I did. I used the matte medium, the ultra thick emboss, and then I heated it from the back side. And again, depending on your acetate too, probably. But yeah, this is the closest to Michelle's that I got, but now we have that tiny bit of frost in there. Okay. I also played around with, because if you saw her other make for the Junk Journal July colors prompt, you'll see she had like a little, what is that? I can't remember, but you know, the little things you used to look through and change the picture, little round thing. Okay, you guys know what I'm talking about. She used glazes on those, embossed glaze, and to get the different colors. All right, and so this is what this is. This is Rusty Hinge. This one is Rusty Hinge glaze by itself. All right, a little bit of pittage, so it has a little bit of texture there, and color. And then I tried putting the glaze on top of the emboss, and it got even smoother. So if you want smoother, I suggest 2 layers and heat it up, and it got really smooth. So that's what that is. I also played around with alcohol inks. Now, at first, I put alcohol ink just on the back, and that was cool. Okay, so if you want to color your windows, just put alcohol ink on the back of the acetone, or acetate, sorry. And then it will, if you see it here at the top, it does color it. All right. Then I put it on the front also. So you'll see where it's kind of dull right there with the red, orangey red. That's because I put alcohol ink on the front, which also adds a cool look, but it takes away that gloss look. So I don't know if you like the gloss look or not, but that will make it matte. So if you color from the front, you're going to get a matte image instead of a glossy image. Okay. All right. So I wasn't done playing this morning. I was still, you know, because I was trying this morning, and I was trying to get the textured look for my wall. Okay. Which I think I'm going to go with the matte medium and heat from the back side. So I'm still going to do that. But then I also did this. Oh, my stomach, I'm so hungry. Can you guys see that? So on this one, I was playing around, and I did the emboss ink. I did this, heated it up, and then I just, while it was still hot, I put another layer of that, heated that up, and it got really smooth and really thick, right? So then I took an emboss folder and I just pressed it on there while it was still hot, or warm, I should say. And I got this. All right, isn't that cool? So I'm really digging that. I really like that look. So that opens up a whole new window of opportunity, no pun intended. And I'm pretty sure you can do that if you have a super fine. Maybe just do a couple layers so it's a little bit thicker, and then just press your emboss, whatever you want. Didn't hurt the emboss folder, all is well. So then I thought, well, what if I let it cool down and just run it through an emboss folder, right? So this is just one layer of the ultra thick emboss powder, and I let it cool down, and then I ran it through with the folder. Just laid it in there and ran it through. And this is what I got. All right. And what'll happen is it's still glossy on the raised parts, but on the parts that are lower, it's matte. So isn't that neat? Then I'm like, well, do I still want to do? But I'm still going to stick to the original plan for my brick wall. Still going to do that, and painstaking. God, I can't even say the word because it's so hard, and it's going to be a pain. I'm going to put that in my Asylum journal because that was the start of it. But this is just another option for those that may not have this, and you do want like a textured window or a textured something. Well, this is what you can do. You can put a layer on acetate, let it cool, run it through an emboss folder. And there you go. All right. So the rest of the video, I am just going to do this. I'm going to make my window piece, which I'm using. It's going to be kind of big. So this is the size of it. So I'm going to emboss this whole thing. And then I am going to sandwich it in between this and the other one. And then I'm going to glue this in place so that I have a glass wall, a glass block wall. All right. So the rest is just going to be me doing it. I'm going to speed it up because I'm sure this is going to take forever. And I've already taken a lot of time just trying to explain everything. But I encourage you to go to Michelle's Instagram and check out her step-by-step tutorial. I am going to do the step-by-step, but instead of using this, the emboss ink, I am going to use matte medium for mine. Because with my acetate, my transparency, it's not giving me enough texture. It's coming out quite smooth. All right, so that's what I'm going to do, but yours may be different. Okay, so hold on and let me just start getting everything together. Maybe get something to eat because my stomach is growling. All right, so I did have an apple with some peanut butter, and so I'm starting off putting the matte medium down, just a nice smooth layer here, kind of semi-smooth, and then I add the ultra thick embossing. And then I'm going to heat it up underneath. And like I said before, yours might turn out a little different depending on your acetate that you use and your heat gun. There's so many different variables. So I suggest just playing with it. But this was the closest I could get to Michelle's texture, was doing it this way. You see how you can see like the little pits and stuff on there? Looking good. All right, so then there's my page. And here I am mapping out where I'm going to cut my window. And I want to make sure I leave enough room on the sides, one, to glue it down, and two, for the wall part to be able to hold it in place also. I don't want it like right, the two to meet right on the edge, so. Okay, so then I decided to paint the page brown. I'm going to do it on front and back. just so that the brick wall part kind of stands out a little bit better, a little bit more contrast. And I'm also hoping that this acrylic paint will help the page get a little stronger, because that paper was really flimsy. So I'm hoping that a little bit of paint on both sides will make it a little bit stronger. All right, so now my next step is I need to square up this wall front and back so that they're both kind of the same size. As you can see, they're not actually lined up correctly, a bit off. So I'm just squaring around the edges with my craft knife. And then now I'm going to glue the glass part on. And I'm actually going to do it from the back side. I was originally going to do it from the front, but because of the natural curve of that embossed sheet, I'm going to do it from the back side. And then I'm also going to put a brick on it to make sure that it's glued down flat. It worked out pretty good. Now I'm going to glue down the front wall using the glitter glue. And I know this side also is going to be a little bit harder to keep down because of the texture on the glass part. But that brick comes in pretty handy, so. And I also do the same for the back side. So everything I do on the front, I'm just gonna do it on the back. All right. I did let it sit for a few minutes, even though the video made it look like it only sat there for a second. I just paused the video so that you guys don't have to sit through all that. And the back side was a little bit easier because there's no texture on that side and no emboss glaze on that side, so it was easier to glue down. Didn't even really need the brick on that. So now I need to fit my bricks, the brick part, back into the wall, and I'm going to let it flatten out for a while with the brick. For a few minutes it sat there, which helped tremendously. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to glue down than this, but flattening it out really helped. And I'm just doing the horizontal lines on this die cut and hoping that'll be enough to keep it down. So then now here I am fitting it in to all the grooves and stuff. And it wasn't too bad. Let it dry. And then now I'm doing the same thing to the back side. How fast I am. Again, I'm gonna let the brick flatten it out a little bit. And then now I'm going to glue it. All right, so looks good. And now I'm going to take the bricks, I saved them all, and I'm going to glue them around the edges, mainly the four corners, and then in some other areas, just to make that piece kind of blend into the brown background a little bit better. All right, I'm not going to record that whole process. I'm just showing you right now what my idea is, and then I'll just do it and pop right back. We'll pop back to the end of the video. All right, so hold tight. All right, you guys, so I'm done gluing all those little bricks back onto my wall, and this is what it ended up looking like. Let's see, turn off the light, maybe you can see it looks better. Well, you guys seen the pictures. I'm gonna post pictures with this video anyway, but yeah, so see, you can see the texture in there. So that's the front page, and then this is the back page. Pretty cool. Creatively insane. Thank you, Michelle. That was a cool technique. And like I said, you don't have to just use it for windows. You can use it for anything. Anything that you want to add a little bit of texture and you want it to be translucent. But yeah, isn't that pretty cool? Yes. It took me a while to glue all these on, but I think it helped, because if I just had this there, it would be kind of plain. And I was even going to go so far as to cut out this die cut again on some brown paper and then put some brown bricks in there, but then I was like, let's not overdo it, Brenda. Let's try to keep it a little bit more simplified. But yeah, so this is it. This is the end result for my project. I would love to see what you guys do with it. What, you know, take the ball and run with it. I'd love to see it. So make sure you tag me on Instagram, or if on the Scrappy 8 Facebook page, tag me there with Michelle, because this is her process. She came up with this by accident, I believe. And it's just such a cool look. And reminding you again to see the step-by-step process picture, if that's a better learning curve for you than watching a speed-up video, then go to her Instagram, and I'll link it below so you can get there easily and check it out. All right, and let's support each other. All right, let's artists support artists. That's what we need to do. In fact, I'm thinking on my trash talk, weekly trash talk, since I do that every week, I might start mentioning other YouTube artists that are just starting out, like myself, and just, you know, let's bring them up. Let's help them out. Okay, so that's it. That's for our play day in the asylum. Special shout out and thank you to Michelle for coming up with such a cool, creatively insane process. And I look forward to seeing what you guys do with it. And any questions or feedback, please ask below, comment below, and you know I will get back to you. All right? Until the next play day, or until Trash Talk, or until Junk Journal July, or until whatever. Tschüss.